okay, of Guava? Well, like many other box, okay, it's an anti-spam solution, antivirus, content control, email surveillance, so we can send BCC to the administrator, attachment filter, extension, fingerprinting. Fingerprinting is basically it's acting a little bit like a antivirus solution. It looks for the content if the let's say example the .exe had been changed to say a .zip or something like that. We got connection dropping with the our new scanning solution, okay, with the SMTP scanner, RBL, SURBL, spoofing, and conversation tracking. We got, of course, the QMS still, nothing new, and here are the scanner. We got the SMTP scanner, that's our newest scanner. Okay, we still have the GUIA scanner. Of course, we're the only one basically can access the post office scanner, and we can go in there into your post office, and if you have any virus that are sleeping in there, so we can remove those. And of course, we got the MTA scanner. More about that later on. So our anti-spam solution, what we use is a solution from ComSoft, so which is a well-known solution. So basically, this solution doesn't need any training. You just install the SMTP scanner, the new signature is there, and definitely you're good to go. It works a little bit like an AV scanner. So there's no, with the SMTP scanner, there's really, for almost all organizations, there's really kind of no need for exception list. That is for mostly organizations. So provide a zero-day antivirus solution scanning. What we use for the antivirus is Kaspersky. By default, it will update every hour, but if you have like a threat of a possible virus that's going on the internet, you can update this manually. So Kaspersky, we have been a partner since a couple of years with Kaspersky, and pretty good solution for AV. So like I mentioned, the SMTP scanner. So the SMTP scanner, it, like mentioned, it works a little bit like as a proxy. So message coming in, okay, will be scanned with the SMTP scanner. So it could be any mail system. Example, it could be GroupWise, it could be Exchange, it could be Domino, Notes, whatever you want. So it runs, it goes through all the events that the administrator did configure, and if the mail is good, it will be forward to your SMTP gateway, depending on whichever messaging platform you're using. So it allows for connection level services, okay, and you can configure with the drop connection on certain event. So as I was telling, connection dropping, so it blocks the message really before the message is received to your mail system gateway. So this will reduce a lot of server load. So at least your SMTP gateway of an email system will be busy to only handle good email, inbound and outbound. So for the connection dropping, we use, it can be configured by the administrator. It's an option, okay, and the service that could provide this is the RBL, the IP reputation, and the SPF. So SPF, it's quite a new protocol out there, okay, and not really new, but not that old, okay. So what it does, it validates, okay, the sender address IP via a DNS SPF record. So the SPF record has a list of server IP address that can send email from your domain. So it will not allow to spoof your name. So there is a, if you're quite new to this SPF, you can go ahead and hit your URL at it's openspf.org, and there's a quite of how to set up a DNS SPF record on this site. IP reputation. So this is available, okay, only with the SMTP scanner. So it determines the validity of a sender based on IP address. So there is different IP reputation out there. So known spammer, okay, this is like a little database, okay. So known spammer are totally denied access, okay. So it will, the IP reputation will totally like drop the connection, so that spam will not even make it, okay, to your gateway, and we don't want to do that, depending on your mail system. So possible spammer, as we all know, they try once, they're not allowed to get in, okay, so they will go to another box, try to send. So they have to try again, and that's not good for them. So good email, of course, is allowed, okay, and will be forwarded to your SMTP engine. Unknown spammer cannot go through. So zero-day spam protection. So policy enforcement, what we recommend, okay, definitely antivirus, attachment, fingerprinting, content filtering as an option, okay, you can have subject and content totally filtering. Available action. So what we can do when an event occurs, we can block it. Of course, you definitely want to delete any virus. You don't want to quarantine them. So you can quarantine some events, let's say an attachment that has been blocked, but you can quarantine them. You can notify the administrator, notify the sender, or you can notify, okay, the sender. We can do BCC, so a BCC could be sent to the Guava administrator at the same time. The WASP scanner. Okay, so the WASP scanner, what it is, basically we all know that through web access, a virus can spread out. So you can install a WASP scanner. So we got the remote WASP scanner. So that the remote WASP scanner, what it will do, it will install only a couple of files on your web access application. Okay, does not matter if your web access application is on Netware, on Linux, or even on Windows. So if you do the remote WASP installation, you don't need like the core engine of Guava to be installed where your web application resides. So you just have to copy a few files and basically you're good to go. Poa Scanner. So like mentioned before, we're the only company, okay, that can go in there through a trusted app application and scan your post office scanner for any virus that are sleeping there, or even remove certain attachment that should not be there. But most of the time, most administrators, what they will use a POA scanner is definitely to remove any viruses in there. So we use IMAP for this technology, so IMAP must be enabled on the post office default port 143. So, so GWAVA5. What's new in GWAVA5? So the big feature in there is it runs as Windows. It runs as multiple services on Windows. Any surprise out there for Netware is not supported on GWAVA5. Netware will still be supported though with GWAVA 4.5, 4.5.1. Okay, for I think it's an extension of at least 2 more years. So we have, as we will see on the demo, we have now statistic, reports and alerts. We got message tracking, which is a very nice feature, as I would love if I would be a Guava administrator. So from now, you can go put some an email address in there that somebody sent and hit the search button, and it will prompt you for that message instead of going through all the log files there. So this is really a nice feature. So we got the update engine, like I was saying with ComTouch. We do support SSL, TLS. If the gateway needs to talk from the Guava server with SSL or TLS, so we do support that. We do support LDAP authentication. Okay, and we have support for teaming, basically which has changed, okay, to Vibe. So we will have a look at that on the demo server. So without any delay, we will go ahead and we will hit the demo server here. And please let me log out here, and just to mention here. Hold on. Okay, so please be free right now. Okay, so you can go at demo.guava.com. You can log in as guest and password, okay, and choose whatever product you want to choose. You're allowed to do quite a lot of things on that server. Everything you do though will not be saved since we're running in demo mode. Okay, so let's go through a few of our new feature. Okay, now this box here is running on Windows, okay, but it could be Linux, but since it's a new platform supported for GWAVA5, it is on Windows. So we got here one new feature, which is the dashboard. So the dashboard, what it was meant really is for, let's say, every Guava administrator could have their own welcome screen, okay? So we could add, let's say, a user in here, Gerald, let's say an example, and he, okay, could be, when Gerald logged in, he could have, let's say, now we're going to see that confirm often, okay, because I'm not allowed to save here since I'm running in demo mode. So let's say if Gerald comes in, he could have some status screen in here. Yeah, okay, thank you. And from here, you can have multiple applet, okay, or gadget, probably I should say. So you could see, we could use a table, and we could see the most active sender IP address, or we could use message statistics summary. We do a plus here. So you could see how many process, how many block message, how many inbound, outbound, how many message were dropped, okay, with the IP or the SPF, bytes received, so you can see a few statistics there. You have too some gauge, as you see here, from here. So every time, let's say that Gerald would log in, okay, he could have his own statistic page. New graph here too. So there's multiple here that we can do. Okay, is message process for the last, let's say, 17 hours. So there's a lot of graph, and for GWAVA5, okay, as the product gets updated, we will have more objects for the dashboard. So hopefully you can, I don't know if you can see that, okay, but as I am going through my mouse, okay, I see here that 10 block message there going with the red here has been blocked. So this is quite a nice feature for administrator. After that, okay, if we go down through the system management, one of the new feature is the system alerts. So from the system alerts, okay, as you see here, we do have a little problem. I have to talk about my administrator about that. Okay, so this is an alert about like our license has been revoked since December 22nd, which is not very good. So every alert, okay, you can have will be reported there. For the reports, automatically you can have reports. You can make your own reports. If you want to have them weekly, the report time, whatever the time you want, whatever day you want, okay, so, and the default would be like to the Guava administrator. And here, there's already kind of 3 built-in reports that are done automatically when you install the product, okay. So message processed, and January 17, okay, for the weekly report and the monthly report. So those reports, how do they look like is, let me show you here. So this is 192.168. I'm going to log into one of my reports on the demo server, and that should be Guava. Correct. So I did highlight one here. So here, how it looks like. So you can see total message. Okay, this is not really like a production server. We did subscribe to a couple of mailing list server, so it's mostly receiving mail, not sending mail. So you could see all the stats, the spam, the RBL, IP reputation, and everything that happened on this server. And email address, how many from, okay, email user return. So this is to present to the, I don't know, to your manager. So this is quite a good tool to have. So after that, we got the message tracker. So the message tracker is, instead of going through the log files, you can go ahead and let's say if it would equal Gerald here, you can do equals contains, let's say contain. Okay, so everything that from Gerald contain, you can put the email address, demo.guava.com, right? And I can submit a search, and from there I can see, okay, if that mail was blocked and the recipient in the message event there, we would have an event if it would have been blocked. So instead of going through the log files, this is quite a nice feature from GWAVA5. Or if you go ahead and we look for contains, that would be maybe Novell, because I am subscribed to list at novell.com. Here we go. Okay, so once again. This is probably all patch notification. Okay, so those are a couple of new feature in GWAVA5. We got the usual stuff. We got the online updates, which has been there since quite a long time. And going to the server scanner management here, okay, we only have one SMTP scanner. Okay, so if I would have like a POA scanner, a WASP scanner, okay, I would have all those items here. So one good feature about Guava is you can have exception. So let's say if I would do kind of an exception from the message source or the destination address. So let's say if I put do an add here, I can drill down for which events, okay, that Gerald at demo.guava.com, okay, would be allowed. So I can do an exception only for Gerald to receive, let's say, a COM file. So I could do that without, you know, implementing the whole COM file from the attachment being enabled. Okay, nothing new in there. This is really old stuff that was like on GWAVA5. So talking about, how am I doing here on time? Okay, 12:21. Let's talk a little bit about the upgrade possibility, okay, from Guava 4.5 to Guava 5. So if I would have, okay, let's talk first about Linux, and after that, we'll go ahead and talk the upgrade possibility from a Netware to Linux or Windows, okay, mostly on Linux. So to upgrade from Guava 4.5 that's already on Linux, okay, the process is quite easy. So what you need to do is go to the online update, and from the online update, okay, is to subdate an update request so you will have the latest code on Guava 4.5. When that happens and when the update is done, okay, you will see, okay, that there will be a link here around in the middle of the screen to download a PEM file, okay, a GWAVA5 PEM file, because you will require a new PEM file. So from there, okay, when you download your PEM file and you upload your PEM file, you will be able, okay, from this page to upgrade from Guava 4.5 to Guava 5 with the online update. Okay, so this is basically if you're running, okay, Guava 4.5 on Linux. Of course, Guava 4.5 on Windows was not available. This is a new feature with Guava 5 on Windows. So from if you want, okay, to upgrade from Guava 5, from Netware to Guava 5, okay? So here's the procedure, okay? But in the when you download the zip file, there will be, okay, and there is right now as we speak, okay, a little PDF about upgrading from Netware to Linux on Guava 5. So here it goes. Basically, it's a 5-step process. So you install Guava 4 on a functioning Linux server, okay? We do have an appliance, okay? And the appliance is what definitely we do recommend for the to install Guava 4. You could install, okay, build your own /10 or /11 SP1, whatever you choose. and download the build of GWAVA5, okay, and install it on yourself. But what we do recommend is using the appliance. And after that, you can copy your GWAVA4 configuration database from that Netware server to the Linux server. Once that is done, you need to go to correct all of the IP address, the server name, the path, and enter your PEM file license from the new GWAVA4.5 server. Once that is done, okay, you verify that the settings have been migrated, and after that, you'll be able to upgrade to GWAVA5. But once again, okay, those are all like 5 steps, and if on the download, okay, there is a document, a PDF there, how to do that. And of course, there is a script file that could be run from the Linux server, okay, running the new GWAVA4.5 or GWAVA5, that could migrate all your QMS that's on Netware, okay, to your brand new GWAVA4.5 or GWAVA5 server, okay. So what it does behind the scene there, it will execute a NCP mount command to access your Netware server. That's all it does. And after, it will start copying all of your QMS. Of course, the service QMS has to be down on the source and on the destination. So on the roadmap, okay, for the next generation of GWAVA5 will be the next couple of weeks, okay, all of our Guava customer will be sent a notification for to all the customers, so how to get that new PEM file, GWAVA5 PEM file, because every time we change our version, let's say in this example from 4 to 5, the customer do require a new PEM file. Okay, so everything will be, notification will be sent to all our new, to all existing customer. And multi-tenancy is the next big feature, okay? What is the multi-tenancy is basically where you can have different rules for different domains via one group-wise server. So if we go here, let me maximize here, and we go through our mail interface setting, okay, so here we got our 2 domain, BlackBerry. So what this means is for demo.guava.com, okay, so we could have different rules, and for blackberry.guava.com we could have different rules, okay, like RBL not enabled for any reason on the BlackBerry or certain things like that. So that's really on the roadmap. So that has been a lot of customers were asking about this feature. So this is definitely on the roadmap. So we could go ahead and go through the general setting here for the scanning configuration. Antivirus, nothing had changed there. The big change, okay, with our new SMTP scanner, okay, is with the SMTP scanner, you don't need basically to feed the engine, okay, of good ham or good spam, okay. Our first version of GWAVA4, okay, as you, for known customer that used GWAVA4 before, you had kind of to feed the engine of ham and spam. This is not required anymore. Like I mentioned, we use a technology, okay, that's once you create an SMTP scanner, okay, you're good to go, and you don't need to feed the engine. So for, we got different SURBL, okay, nothing new there. What is new if you're using the SMTP scanner is the enable connection drop. Okay, as we talk on the slideshow, this enables that if a known spammer, okay, is with an IP address is known to this database, okay, so the connection will be dropped immediately, so no losing power or no mail going to your mail. So this, those feature enable connection drop are available on the RBL, the IP reputation, and the SPF. So text filtering, we got subject again, the subject, the body, okay, or both. We have the oversized message, the attachment type, and the source address. Of course, destination. Message service. So where here is where you get all your stats, okay, of the latest day. You can request a brand new stats, and from there you can create exception to what the source is that we've been through that. So we got our wizard to create a new scanner. Okay, so here's the teaming scanner that will have definitely have to be renamed to Vibe since teaming is incorporated in Vibe now. Okay, so this will have to be incorporated to be changed on next when it's going to be released. Definitely, it will be changed to Vibe. So, any question, Q, on this product?
Let's see if any questions have come through.
Any question came up?
Right now, we don't have any questions that have come through. Look right here. If you have any questions, feel free to put those through in the chat or the Q&A, and we'll get those answered. Right now, we don't have any.
Okay. So I've talked about like the migration. I've talked about the new feature of GWAVA5. Okay, the big feature is definitely now it is Windows supported. All the documentation, okay, will tell you about, you know, the server platform and the requirement about memory and all of those good stuff. So let's go back here to the statistic, and from the dashboard, I can create some gauge like we've seen before. Okay, so this is definitely not a big system, so we won't see a lot. As we see here, we do see a lot of inbounds, but the outbound is pretty small since we're not using for outbound that mail. We have the 3D pie chart, okay, but most active, let's say most active block. So MGW list, okay, so he's the most active. Reports, message tracking, we went through that. Reports, system alerts. So all my system alerts, okay, would be shown here. If a, let's say, one of my service would be down. By the way, you can verify if all your services are up through one of those gadgets, filter gadget, and you can set up module information or the program status. So as you see here, we do have a little problem with this box, okay? So you could have, once again, when Gerald would log in, if you take our previous example, that everything would be, all of your service here, Guava, the Guava Man, the Poa Scanner, okay, would be up and running, okay? So as you see here, we had a few issues. So once again, that could be on your screen every time you log in, so you could see all of your scanner, and if everything is okay, you could see all of your if you had many block message, or you could see, if you go through a table, all of your message statistic summary here. That's what we've seen before. Alerts, reports. So this is quite a good feature to show for your to your management people how hard, okay, the Guava box is working. So you could have reports as we've seen before. Okay, we still have all the oversized message if you want to enable that. We do have the attachment type. If you want to allow those attachment type, there are by default a couple of those that are locked. You can create your own attachment type if you would like to go and exclude or allow some certain attachment type. Source address filter for attachment type, destination address, and the mail interface setting, which, okay, so if you have a SMTP scanner, so that would be, okay, the IP of your, let's say, your SMTP gateway, depending on your mail system. Scanner properties, you can install a scanner from here. Let's say if you made a mistake, so you could uninstall the scanner from here. Home dashboard. So you could create, like I mentioned before, different names here. Okay, so every administrator that administers Guava could have their own dashboard control panel when they do log in. Any question? That's about what I have to say on the GWAVA5 product. The major thing for GWAVA5 is really the now runs on Windows, okay? The dashboard, system alerts, the reports, message tracker. So if there's any question, I will be happy to answer them.
All right. There are a few that came through. One of them is, will all of the other add-on applications, reload, retain, etc., work from day one with this new application?
You mean the integration, I do suppose?
Yes.
So, well, Redline is one of the most that will be integrated with Guava. Okay, we got Redline 3.5 coming out. Okay, and that will be integrated as with Guava. So yes, Redline will report. Okay, any events there, any stuff from the GWAVA5 server, definitely. And that would be on Windows or on Linux. That will be supported from Redline.
Okay. Another question is, any issues running GWAVA5 on SLUZ 11 Service Pack 1 running as guest OS under XEN?
We do support virtualization, okay. Of course, VMware is what mostly that we do test, okay. Now, the appliance that comes with Guava is, if I believe, is a /10 SP2. I think the support people are working to make an appliance, update that appliance probably to /11 SP1, okay. For XN, I'm not sure. I would have to ask my people. We do have a call on every Tuesday, and I will ask the support people and the development people to see if we do support it on XN. We do support it on Guava. All our product, okay, is supported on virtualization, mostly though on VMware, since this is the most preferred platform. So I can, if you want to send that question to Gerald L. at guava.com, and I should have an answer by next Tuesday if we do support on XN. Okay.
A follow-up to that one, really quick, is the appliance does not the appliance does not install under XN at this point, but you don't have to use the appliance, right?
You can use the appliance, or you can build your own machine, okay? So that would be, let's say, your choice, /10, SP2, SP3, or /11, SP1, and you can download the code and run the code with the Java-jar option. Make sure that GRE is installed, that Java is installed on your Linux box and Java-jar, and that will install it yourself if you don't want to use the appliance. But you can use the appliance. It's your choice. We do recommend using the appliance, by the way.
Okay. The next question, what was the site to view the Guava demo?
The site is right here. Let me open. Another window is demo.guava.com.
Perfect.
Okay, and you got the choice here. You can go have a look at Guava. This is GWAVA5 on Windows. Redline, this is Redline 3.5, okay, which is about to be released. You got the reload for the disaster recovery, and you got Retain. That's Retain 2.0, the release code right now. So you can use for all of those guest and password. That's the login ID. You know, it's letting me in because I already have a session open.
All right. The next question.
Any more questions?
The next one is, in Guava 4, we could import data into the exception list. The import icon seems to be missing in Guava 5. Is there a way to do this?
That I did not see. Okay. What the answer would that be? Okay, if you're running a SMTP scanner, I'm saying this for most organizations, okay, the exception list is really, okay, not needed anymore. The best practice, and if you go into the documentation, okay, if you want to upgrade from Netware to Guava on Linux, let's say, example, is to don't export or import this list. Okay, probably you will have more problem. It would be better, and that's definitely the recommendation is do not export or import that list. As for the question, I will have to look at that and see if there's any reason why the import is not there anymore. I don't. Is it missing, or I will have a look at that, and we'll talk about that on our next discussion with the support and dev people on Tuesday. If you want to send me a question, please, at gerald.l@guava.com about this import, I will be glad to answer that question before, probably on Tuesday night.
There was a follow-up to that really quick. It was the GWAVA scanner is what I'm referring to.
Oh, okay. If the GUIA scanner, okay, with the GUIA scanner, you still can use the SMTP scanner, okay? Not the SMTP scanner, I'm sorry, about the new signature, okay? But with the GUIA scanner, what you lose is different option, like the IP reputation, okay? This will only run all those IP reputation stuff, and the drop connection from the SPF, the IP reputation, and the RBL will not run, okay, on a GUIA scanner. They will only run on a SMTP scanner. So it's a good practice to use the SMTP scanner instead of a GUIA scanner, because definitely there is a lot of drop connection, okay, when using the SMTP scanner. So your group-wise internet agent or your SMTP gateway, okay, will have more time, okay, and more process to proceed with good email instead of proceeding with bad email, okay, with spam or whatever. So definitely the best way to go is to create an SMTP scanner. Definitely that's the way to go. Now, the SMTP scanner, this is not available, okay, on Netware. You have to move or else on Windows with GWAVA5 or on a SUSE platform, okay, with GWAVA4.5. Any more question?
Yeah, the next one is with MX Record pointing to Guava box. Any issues with using this MX record for SMTP access to the GWAVA for other purposes, i.e. mail relay from allowed devices, for example?
No, I don't see any issue with that. Most of the time when putting in a new box, most of the customer, what they would do, okay, is they would probably change their natting or some stuff like that. But MX, no, there's no issue at all. No, not at all. There shouldn't be any issue on that.
Okay. Then the next question, since not everybody has SPF record, is it really recommended to drop connection automatically with the SPF test? No, like I mentioned, SPF, okay, is really kind of a new protocol out there. So I would not go ahead and enable the drop connection on SPF. Definitely, I agree on that. Yes.